Good evening. This is the Arcadian State News at 9, broadcasting across the Republic and beyond. I'm Jonathan Kessler, and tonight we cover a world in transition from high stakes diplomacy to solemn remembrance, and from sporting rivalries to cultural renewal. Let us begin. At the top of the hour, diplomatic tremors echo across the continent as the Federal Republic of Arcadia reaffirms its sovereign claim to all territory from the Panama Canal to the Amazon River. In a declaration issued earlier this week by the Ministry of International Relations and Diplomacy, Arcadia invoked its historical, cultural, and strategic ties to the region, calling on the global community to recognize these lands as part of Arcadian identity and stability. The document describes current borders as artificial and divorced from the will of the people. Officials emphasized the declaration was issued in the spirit of diplomacy, but with firm resolve. Arcadia is prepared to defend its sovereignty by all means necessary. In response, the United Commonwealth of North America issued a fiery rebuttal. While recognizing Arcadian interests south of the Darien Gap, the CNA outright rejected any claims over the canal, calling them illegitimate and destabilizing. CNA forces have since redeployed strategic aircraft and Marines to Lackland Air Force Base, part of what they call a training maneuver, though many see for what it truly is. Arcadia fired back, rejecting the dictatorship label as a false and slanderous response. In its official reply, the ministry described Arcadia as a constitutional republic governed by law, not propaganda. The dispute continues to unfold, but one thing is certain: the Panama Canal now sits at the epicenter of a global flashpoint. And in developing news from the state of Panama, the Arcadian Federal Guard has officially begun deployment operations into the Sierra de Cazadores region, a mountainous zone long plagued by pockets of insurgency and irregular militia activity. According to a statement from the Ministry of National Defense and Strategic Security, the deployment includes elements of the 11th Mechanized Regiment and the 6th Reconnaissance Regiment, tasked with restoring order, securing infrastructure, and stabilizing civilian supply lines. Officials describe the operation as a measured and legal and constitutionally sanctioned operation, following a sharp increase in ambushes and sabotage reported over the past 2 weeks. The Sierra de Cazadores, while rich in terrain and tactical elevation, has historically been a stronghold of secessionist sentiment and cartel-backed disruption. The ministry affirms that all Federal Guard actions will be conducted with precision and proportionality. Public response remains mixed, with local leaders welcoming federal reinforcements, while international observers are urging restraint. More updates are expected as the operation unfolds in the days ahead. In more optimistic diplomatic news, however, the Krasevska Republika, or Krusevo Republic, welcomed the Cascadian ambassador to the historic city of Gornovik this week. The state visit, hailed by both nations as a first step towards cooperation, focused on regional infrastructure, cultural exchange, and shared geopolitical interests in the Western Hemisphere. Krusevo's president issued a public statement expressing hope that this marks the beginning of a broader understanding of the American continent and its future. The visit also coincided with the completion of a major public works project in Gornovik. After years of phased construction, the city's infrastructure overhaul is complete, positioning it as a rising capital in the region. Tonight, the world mourns the passing of a spiritual giant. His Holiness Pope Romanus II, head of the Papal States and leader of the global Catholic Church, died peacefully just past midnight. The Holy Father was found in silent prayer, collapsed before the Blessed Sacrament in his private chapel. According to the official reports, the cause was a sudden and fatal cardiac arrest. He was only 84. The Holy See, in a formal proclamation titled Requiem ad Aeternum, described his passing as a holy death, calling him a shepherd of profound faith, clarity, and compassion. Pope Romanus was known for his uncompromising fidelity to apostolic tradition, and yet a willingness to engage with the modern world. The Federal Republic of Arcadia issued its official condolences today, praising the Pope's tireless work for peace, dialogue, and human dignity. His memory, the statement reads, will be eternal. The College of Cardinals will soon gather for a conclave to elect the 267th successor to the chair of Peter. Funeral arrangements are now underway at St. Peter's Basilica in the new Vatican City. Moving back to Arcadian soil, the Ministry of Transport has fully reopened the Trans-Sierra Highway after a week of closure due to landslides in the Salvador region. Cleanup crews are supported by the National Guard, cleared over 14,000 tons of debris in just 4 days. In New Concordia, the Federal Senate has begun emergency budget hearings focused on expanding the Republic's southern energy grid, including new solar fields near the Nera River and infrastructure belonging to wind power along the Eastern Plateau. Meanwhile, the Department of Cultural Affairs announced the public reintroduction of famed painter Lorena Vasili's exile period works to be displayed for the first time at the Grand Civic Gallery. Her art, once surpassed under the Southern War regime, now returns to the public eye. Now let's take a look at the weather forecast across the Republic. Coastal Arcadia can expect persistent showers tonight with tropical moisture moving in from the Gulf. Flash flood advisories remain active in the lowland provinces. Central regions, including New Concordia and the Nera Valley, will see cloudy skies overnight, with clearing by late morning. Highs tomorrow in the mid-80s Fahrenheit. The highlands will be cooler, with fog before sunrise and highs in the low 70s. Light winds to be expected. The eastern dryland remains stable and warm. No major weather disruptions reported. Now, moving on to sports. The Arcadian national team prepares for its high-profile showdown against Cascadia this weekend in the Continental Unity Cup. Analysts expect an aggressive midfield game, with the Arcadia fielding its youngest lineup in years. Coach Marin Kovac told NSN today, "We're not just playing for victory, we're playing for momentum. Arcadia's time is now." In regional league news, the South Coast Titans clinched a playoff berth in dramatic fashion late last night with a 3-1 win over the Monclaro Mariners. Their match will determine final seeding. As we close this evening, for main news, a declaration of sovereignty, a pope returns to eternity, and new bridges are being formed between distant peoples. Arcadia stands at the intersection of memory and motion, a republic that moves forward, mindful of its place in history and hopeful for its role in the world.